princess. Are you helping? Hello, доброго вечера. I'm just going to film a quick little book haul, and then I'm going to be banned from buying my books for a little bit, for only a little while, because I need to take a little... Stop liking the books! I need to take a little family-related trip in March, and I'm going to be going to another country, which means I'm going to be able to go to bookstores, and I'm probably gonna buy as many books as I can carry. So I need to be banned for now, at least, to save some money and just to read a bunch of books from my TBR so that I have some more space and stuff. Can you stop it? Can you stop trying to eat the books? What is wrong with you? Right, so I have a bunch of books here that my friend who currently lives in Norway sent me. She went there with her children at the beginning of the war. She's got 2 little girls. Hi, Katya. And she goes to these secondhand shops all the time and sends me pictures of the bookshelves that they have there so I can choose some books for myself in English. And these are some of the ones that she got for me before Christmas, and 2 of these were surprises. So this one was a surprise. This is the Cozy Classics Pride and Prejudice. Alisa, can you stop, please? What do you want with these books? Stop trying to eat them. Do they smell nice or what is it? She just keeps pushing her face in them. What is it? What do you want? You are adorable. You are so cute. Oh. Okay. Cozy Classics, Pride and Prejudice. This is, you might have seen it like online, little pictures of it. It's just characters made out of felt with one word summarizing the chapter and what was happening in it. And it just summarizes the whole book in it. So if you haven't read the original book, it won't make any sense to you. But they are so cute to have. If you have kids and you want to introduce them to classics, or if you just love classics, and you want to have, I have no idea what she's doing. I cannot stop it. And you just want to have a little cute memorabilia to do with your favorite books. I love this. I've never even seen them in the flesh before, and she just sent me this one. And she also sent me Les of the same edition. I've never actually finished Les Miserables. I have my edition, and it's a very old, tattered one, like a Soviet one from my grandfather's youth. But when I was moving, I kind of lost it. I think I know where it is. Like, it's not even in this apartment. It's somewhere. Maybe my mom has it. So I really want to finish it, but I don't know. Like, I might either get myself another edition or try to find that one. But it doesn't really even matter what language I read it in because it's a translation from French. Okay, can you stop, please? Okay, American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Never read this. Love Neil Gaiman. No idea what this is about, other than this is about modern day America and the gods of all the different pantheons of all the different mythologies are walking among the mortals. And it's a chunker. It's a huge book. It's more than 600 pages long. And it's the first one in a 4-book, I don't know if it's a series or if it's a cycle, because I've never actually heard this referred to as part of a series, but it says here that it's the first one in a cycle. So I might keep reading the rest of them once I finish this one. I actually wanted to do a little vlog where I read the books that Kate got for me in Norway, like separately, but they are all pretty big books, and I decided to show them you anyway. What are you eating there? What do you find? You are full of energy today, aren't you? So yeah, this one was also Kate got me. Then I've got Last Night in Twisted River by John Irving. I don't even remember what this is about. Like, when I saw Irving on the shelf when Kate sent me a picture, I looked it up on Goodreads and the synopsis sounded interesting. So I don't even remember what it is, because the back doesn't have the synopsis. It just has blurbs, you know, like the ones that just say like evocative, go fuck yourself. Like, what is it about? Just tell me what the book's about. It's also in an like ex-library binding, and I really love when I buy books like this at secondhand shops, because it has a history, this book. And it's also got decaled edges, which is something I really love as well. It's just such a pleasant thing to read. Okay. Next one, I've got The Infinite Plan by Isabel Allende. Look at this beautiful hardcover. I really love Isabel Allende. I read Ava Luna a couple years ago and I completely fell in love with it. So I have so many of her books now, and oh, it's got decoded edges as well. This is her actually the first of her books to center on American characters and to happen in America, because all the others of her are happening in Chile or in other places in South America. So this one is about a man trying to overcome like his childhood trauma and a childhood full of poverty. So that's all I know about it, and I actually don't need to know anymore because Isabel Allende's writing is very beautiful and it has that Southern American feel to it. I cannot explain it, but like when I read Marquez or Borges or Isabel Allende, it always feels like there's this little special something in there that only South American writers can do. I cannot explain it. So yeah, this one's exciting. And then I got The Book Thief by Marco Zuzak. Look at this. This is my favorite cover of this book. I've seen a lot of them, and this one is just so simple. The girl dancing with death and like this papyrus texture is beautiful. I've seen the movie like 10 years ago, I think, by accident. It was summer and my mom and I were at my grandparents' place. We didn't have anything to do, and she had a bunch of movies on her laptop ready for us to watch. So one night she just put it on, and I didn't even know there was a book at that point. So we watched it, so I know what it's about. But I still want to read it because obviously it's going to be different from the movie and it's going to have a bunch of stuff in it that the movie didn't. Oh, there's a circle imprinted on top of it, like somebody put a cup of coffee or something on it. I love things like that. You know, when you buy a used book and you see all of these things, you can see how maybe it lay in the sun because this part seems to be burnt. Maybe it lay in the sun like this, and it's just interesting, you know, to think who were the people that read this before, why they took it to the secondhand bookshop, and just what happened. So yeah, that's the next one. Now I have 3 books that I bought for myself. I have The 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I read this like 50 times. Not even joking. This is my favorite book in the whole world. I did not have a copy in English. I have my old battered copy in Russian, but I don't even have it right now because I lent it to a friend. And she still haven't finished it, and I'm not taking it back until she finishes it. So I kind of want to start to collect different editions of this book. I know consumerism, all of that stuff, but I love it so much. There was a point in my life where I would just carry a copy of this book in my bag all the time, and I would just keep reading it over and over and over and over again. I would just like open it on a random page and I would just start to read, and I know it so well, but I just love it. And every once in a while I just want to reread it. So this is the Everyman Libraries edition. I really love the quality of these editions. The paper is gorgeous and they've got this ribbon bookmark in them. I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that they put the author's picture as the background of the photo. The other one I have in this from this collection is The Remainders of the Day by Ishiguro. And this was just a little gift to myself. I just wanted it, and it was $2. So I think this is a great purchase. I didn't have a copy of my favorite book, and now I do, and I refuse to feel bad about it. And then I have A Good Man is Hard to Find by Flannery O'Connor. Look at this crazy yellow cover, and I really actually like the design. So Flannery O'Connor, she was a very poignant, like famous Irish-American writer, and I only read one of her books. I read Wise Blood. And I'm sad to say that 50% in, it's only like 300 pages long, but 150 pages in, I thought I was gonna die if I keep reading it. Like, nothing happened, and it was so incredibly boring. And, well, I mean, a friend recommended it to me, and when I went back to her and I was like, Stacey, why did you recommend me this book? She said that she didn't even particularly like it, but she thought that I might appreciate it and it might find it interesting, and she like explained to me why at that point she thought I might find it interesting. But also the fact about Wise Blood is that if you don't have a background of understanding how religion works in America, you might find it baffling. Also, it's a kind of book where you need to read like 5 essays after you finished it to understand all the context in it. And I just didn't feel like doing that at the moment. Maybe I'll give Wise Blood a chance some other time in my life, but at that moment I just felt like it was draining the life force out of me. But I think that Flannery O'Connor did have a lot to say. So these are short stories by her. So I'm going to give this a go, and if I don't vibe with them, I might who am I kidding? I'm gonna keep buying books by her because she's an acclaimed writer, and I want to find something there to be acclaimed. Okay. And the next one I have is Sense and Sensibility by Jane. Okay, you know what? Let me move these out of the way. Yeah, so Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This is a reprint of the original edition with original illustrations. Illustrations by Chris Hammond. Yes, he was the artist who was Jane Austen's contemporary, and he did illustrations for all of her novels. He was an ink artist, and the illustrations look something like this, and obviously something like this, and they are very, very good and lovely, and I adore them. I don't particularly like the glossy dust jacket, but I suppose it's a style in its own as well. I don't like the glossy one because it reminds me of these Soviet editions of like, there was this collection of books, there was like 150 of them in there, and it was called the World's Library or something like that, and it had all of these like party-approved novels and poets in it from all over the world, from like starting from like African poetry, ending with like Gustave Flaubert, and they had these glossy dust jackets, so I suppose it just reminds me of those. But I really do love this edition with the illustrations. And also, I found that there's a sticky note inside. Here it is. It's a little cat. And there was also the receipt for this book from Henry Porty's Books Limited. And there's a sticker here. And I'm not removing the receipt or the sticky note or this because it's part of this book's history, because it was a used book as well. And it was expensive for a used book, but I understand for this kind of edition. I've never seen this one before. And I'm really glad that I bought it because I never read Sense and Sensibility before, and I really do want to. I'm craving another Jane Austen novel after Mansfield, after Northanger Abbey. So I'm going to read this soon, I'm thinking. And then I have some graphic novels. So I watched The Dark Crystal recently, the original Jim Henson film, and I'm obsessed with it. Like, for a few days after it, if you watched it, you're gonna know this referenced. I walked around my apartment going, And then I googled it because I wanted like a doll in the shape of the main characters, and I found out that there are graphic novels. I know that Netflix made a TV show. I don't know if I'm going to watch it because I despise Netflix with all my being. But after I read these graphic novels, I might give it a go. If I hate it after one episode, I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist. So I bought The Power of the Dark Crystal, Tome 1, Tome 2, and Tome 3. There are 3 of them. And I'm going to show you some of the illustrations because I think they are absolutely fantastic. Look at this. Look how beautiful it is. It's so gorgeous. I'm obsessed. Also, I decided, these are all in Ukrainian. I decided that I'm going to allow myself to start buying graphic novels in Ukrainian, even though it gave me a bad case of OCD first, but I explained it to myself. There is no place in Ukraine, in Kiev, to buy graphic novels in original English. Ordering from other places online, I cannot do that right now because Book Depository doesn't ship to Ukraine during the war. Nor does Amazon, nor do any of the other shops. I can order through my friends that live in other countries and then just ask them to use regular post office to ship them to me. But last time I did that, it took a long time and I thought the books were lost, and it was such a hassle for me and for my friend. And it cost a lot of money as well because the Book Depository is free shipping, so it's easy for me to order from there. But also, graphic novels, as you may know, are very expensive. They are often more expensive than regular books, and because graphic novels normally, these are only 3 tomes, but like I want to read The Sandman, and there's 10 installations, 10 tomes in that story, and each one of them costs like $20. I cannot afford that. But here in Ukraine, each one of these cost me $8. This is a Ukrainian translation. It's a good translation. It's an official translation and everything. I'm supporting a Ukrainian publishes comics. I'm supporting a Ukrainian comic book store that is a lovely place, and I just feel like home when I go there. I'm still getting to read the stories that I want and to experience the illustrations that I want and to get myself more into the world of graphic novels, which is something that I want to do. And if I want to talk about these on my channel, it's not hard for me to translate what I read, or if there are certain names or certain terms that I might not be sure that I'm translating correctly, it's going to be easier for me to look it up. So that's how I explained to myself that it's okay for me to start reading graphic novels in Ukrainian. But I'm still going to be going to be talking about them on my channel. I'm going to be showing you illustrations and everything. So expect much more graphic novels, I think, on my channel, because I'm getting into that obsession, special interest place. And the last one I got the first tome of Saga. I need to take the plastic off because of the glare. Saga was really popular. Sorry, it's crinkling. One sec. Saga was really popular at one point on YouTube, and I saw it everywhere. Everybody who reads graphic novels talked about it. It's about this woman and this man and their little baby. They are on the opposing sides of a war, and they fall in love, and they decide to look for their own corner of the universe to start their family and just run away from the war. And I think there's 8 tomes in this, 8 installations in this, and the illustrations are beautiful as well, if the cover is anything to go by. Yeah, I do like the illustrations. Because I read a graphic novel this month, and the illustrations I just did not enjoy. Some of these are not great, but the cover, I really like the cover art. I'm really excited to read this because it's a family, and they have a little baby, and she's breastfeeding it on the cover. I find it really interesting. And I really like stories about, kind of, I guess you can say it's Romeo and Juliet, Tristan and Isolde. They're not supposed to be together, but they are anyway. So I'm going to read this soon, I think, and then I'm going to be upset because I cannot buy all 10 tomes next immediately to read them all. But yes, these are my books that I bought this month, and now I'm going to ban myself. I'm not going to buy any more books until my trip. I'm going to put money aside to buy books in secondhand shops on my trip, and I need to make a dent in my physical TBR because I keep getting distracted by ebooks and audiobooks and not reading my physical TBR, and it gnaws on me. You know the feeling. Why am I telling you? You know the feeling. If you like to read, you know the feeling. Thanks so much for watching this. If you're not feeling like talking in the comments, please leave me a star emoji to just let me know that you've been here and you watched this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Also, yesterday, it's been a year since the start of the war, since the start of the Russian invasion in my country, and we've all been feeling a little frazzled and just it's surreal that it's been a whole year. And there's a lot to say, but somehow I'm not finding the words. But thank you so much for everybody who's reached out with messages and supported me and supported my country. If you've been with us in thought or donated or reposted something, I just thank you, and Slava Ukraini.